Hey y'all, I'm Jimmy, this is Office Hours, and this is brought to you by some guy on Reddit asking about my favoritist function on the planet. Let's jump right in. So, here the user wants to extract the first sentence of a text field using the period as the end of the sentence. And obviously, if you learned about CS, you know that this is a very great use case for the split function. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So here I have a random sentence, and then I'm going to also generate one using AI. So I'm going to tell Bro to write a paragraph with 4 sentences. Okay, great, perfect. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be charged for this. I really hope not. But okay, so we have 2 different sentences, and they want to stick this inside a database. So let's create our backend. Always make a backend. Don't put your databases on the main page. And then we're going to do a simple database. Go here. I'm going to call it extracting sentences. And then here we're going to go all sentences. And then I'm not going to use the name property as my main one. I'm going to create a text property. I'm going to call this long, and then we're going to call this first sentence. Okay. Perfect. And then we're just going to name them. So the first one's going to be lorem ipsum. Second one is going to be Notion AI work. Okay. Backend, done. Front end. Oh, they changed the way this looks. Okay, they changed the icon. Here we have the backend, put the backend away. Here we're going to do the linked view of the database, extracting sentences, or I guess paragraph, and then this one is our regular one. Okay, perfect. So now we are going to use a formula to get the first sentence. So we jump in here, go to formula, we are going to use the split formula. So let's see what split does. Split is actually the best formula because not only does it split it, it turns text into arrays. So it's a great way to take text that you have and turn it into arrays because arrays are iterable. And I am going to go on a long rant about this at the end of this video, but let's solve the person's problem first. So here we're going to grab the long version, we are going to split it where the period is, and then we are going to close it. And let's see what that looks like. So if we actually see what this looks like, so I'm gonna, maybe I'll wrap this. Maybe I'll wrap everything. Okay. And if I wrap this one, you can now see that pattern on the ground. It's gonna be a comma here after this. The sun cast long shadows, peaceful garden, pattern on the ground, birds chirped, blah blah blah, and it's split at the periods. So then we're gonna grab just the first one. So we're just gonna do at 0. Okay, perfect. So that is just going to be the first sentence, and then super simple. I think the user already knows how to do this. You could either do a period or you could join a period at the end. So that is just getting that first sentence. So what we did, we split it, which gave us an array of all the sentences. Let's look at that one more time, actually. So let's get rid of all this. So this is actually an array. It's a list of text, and this is a bad view of it, but you can see here that each sentence is in that list. So if I go back to what we had before, we grabbed that first item in the list, and then we took it to the next level by just adding back that period. Well, we didn't really take it to the next level, but yeah, we added back that period, and that is the first sentence. We can also do other stuff with this same concept. So one more thing that I wanted to do, if we make this full width and start playing around a little bit more, zoom in just in case. So this is the long sentence, this is the first sentence. We can also get a variable number of sentences and join them together with periods. So let's do that. So I'm going to grab another formula. Here I'm going to say variable. Okay, and then here we're going to choose the number. So we're going to choose the number here. So how many sentences? Number of sentences. So say for some of these I want a longer summary. For this one I just want 1, and then for this one I want 2, right? So here, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to grab that same split formula, split, and then we are going to get long, okay, and then we're going to split it by the period. Okay, so you can see those, and then since this is an array, we can use the split functionality and the join functionality to kind of iterate through everything. So we can go through here and be like, okay, so say I want to get just, so first I'm going to slice this. So I'm just getting the first X number of sentences, and that's going to be 0 to number of sentences. So you can see here, we got just the first sentence. If I save this, you can see, and if I wrap these, okay, here you can see that I got 2 sentences because we chose 2 over here, and if we update this, we can see that we got 2 sentences or even 3 sentences. Alright, so I'm going to switch that back to 1, and then we're going to put those periods in as well because we don't want commas. So to do just the periods instead of commas, we are going to map this. That's what I said about an array. If it's an array, you can map it, right? So we are going to map it, and we are going to add a period to all of these. Okay, so you can see that this has a period now, and this also has a period. And then finally, we are going to join this all together with just a quotation, which is just empty. So what join does is it takes everything in this map array and it just sticks it together with whatever you want. So if I said put the word hello in between everything, it's going to give me hello at the end of everything. You'll see it in a second, but basically between the items in the array, it's going to put hello, and it's going to give us that information. So if I get rid of that and just put the regular thing, now we have what we wanted. So we kind of had to do a little bit of, I guess, surgery on this. So we split it by the period, because a period is the best indicator of where a sentence ends. But since we split it by the period, we didn't keep the periods. So we had to add the periods back in using either, if you're just using the first one, a period like this, or if you wanted to get a variable number of sentences, you can use a map function to add back the periods, which is map obviously goes through the array and gets the different, basically, let's read the description, calls the expression on every item in the input list. So what we did is we said 1, 2, 3, and then current plus a period. And our 1, 2, 3 were all different sentences. And then finally, we joined it all together because map returns things with commas in between them. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3. We don't want those commas. We want it to just be 1, 2, 3, or we maybe want it to be 1, 2, 3. That is a perfect use case for a join function. So yeah, that is everything, and I thought this was going to be much longer because I really wanted to go over this number of sentences thing because I thought it was super cool. But yeah, super easy way to get this. Unfortunately, we can't do this kind of stuff with the innards of this page, which makes me kind of sad, but that's what we have. So if you enjoyed it, please do all the things and let me know. And I'll also put this down in the description, access to this as a free template. But yeah, thanks for watching.